of morality and the perfection of human character. This document was produced by Imam Ali ibn al-Husayn Zainul Abidin alayhi salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjal farajahum. And when I'm making some comments on this, I'm still trying to be as brief as possible. But still, there is a lot which we can learn from the text and also what we learn from the message which is between the lines. And message between the lines can be only learned and understood when we read the text very carefully and we reflect upon it. Instead of just simple recitation or rushing to recite and finish, if we can read paragraph by paragraph and then reflect upon it and see what is being said here by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if it is Quran, or by Imam alayhi salatu wassalam, if it is Nahjul Balagha or Sahifa Sajjadiyya, or if it is the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. So, reading with understanding is important. And then it is also very much encouraged that when we read and try to understand, then taking the notes. Otherwise, human capacity or memory is very limited. And after some time, whatever we have learned, it all is deleted from our memory, and either we don't remember it at all, or we remember the head or the tail. And then sometime we just leave in between and attach the head with the tail. And that is the area where we make many mistakes. So, read and read with understanding. And then take notes. Those notes are very precious things which we should keep for ourselves, share with our family, and leave as a heritage for our children, for our family, that when we are not around, they can just take those notes, our diaries, our books, our handwritten margins, our handwritten footnotes, the question marks. These should be our heritage, which we leave behind for our families, for our children, particularly when we have brought them in a totally different society where they need help and they need a lot of help in all this area. So, today this paragraph which we are reading, before I read and translate, I just want to make 2 or 3 points. Number one, many of us are under the impression that we are who we are and we can't do anything about it. This is how I am. And now, meaning there is no room for me to change, there is nothing can be done, I cannot change myself, I cannot improve myself, I cannot undo what I have learned and we just feel that, meaning nothing can be done. The human being cannot change. It's not worth of advising someone or guiding someone or meaning getting into any conversation with someone because it is useless. People will never change. People will just remain with whatever they are. But when we look at these du'as of Imam of course is a very practical man. And if Imam is asking certain improvements and certain changes, so it means that changes can happen. People can improve. The character can be changed. The character can be improved. Otherwise, Imam would not bother to point out those things, and Imam would not bother to ask for those things. So if Imam is asking, so it means people can change. People can improve. And character can be rebuilt. So it is something which is possible. So we need to be positive people. Some of us are unfortunately very negative, very bitter, very hopeless kind of people. That our experiences of our life has led us to that kind of darkness. And we have very negative view of people, of very negative view of others, and even sometimes very negative view of ourselves. So that's one thing what we learn from this document, that Imam alayhi salatu wasalam names every defect, names every imperfection, names every problem, names every disease of soul and disease of character, and then Imam alayhi salatu wasalam asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to change it and to help him to change. And again Imam alayhi salatu wasalam is seeking help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but Imam doesn't mean that, oh Allah, you push the button, I am not going to do anything, and just make me from black to white or from white to black. No, that's not what Imam is asking. Imam asks, I will try my best, but I know alone I cannot fix it. I need your help. I need tawfiq and I need help. So that's number one. The second thing which Imam alayhi salatu wasalam is pointing out, if we get to that point, Imam is highlighting some of the very big dangers in our life which we face as individual, as family, as community. There are some blind spots, there are some things just in our inner circle, in our family, in our close friends, in our extended family, dangers posed by people around us. Sisters, please. So, recite a salawat. Sometime in our circle of friends, in our own family, in our own friends, we have enemies. And matter of fact, those are the worst enemies who are part of our family and part of our circle of friends, because the damage caused by them is much bigger than the damage caused by the enemies. So Imam alayhi salatu wassalam is highlighting that these are also some areas which are very important. But then, Imam is a positive man. Imam is not, even if you know the life of Imam Zainul Abidin, he should be the most negative person if you know what he has gone through. He should be the most hopeless man and the most bitter man on the earth. All of us, we justify our bitterness and our negativity with our personal experiences. And we say, because I have gone through this, and because I have been bitten so many times, and because I have been mistreated, and because I have been abused, and because I have been abandoned, and because I have been subject of such harsh kind of treatments, so I cannot help. And so that's why I am very negative, and I am bitter, and I am hopeless. So if you use those standards, the most bitter man on the earth should be Imam Zainul Abidin, the most hopeless man. But if you look at his du'as and if you look at his character, you will not see any bitterness, any negativity, any hopelessness in the life and in the teachings and in the message of Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salatu wasalam. Very positive. His outlook to the life and to the society and to everything is very positive, full of positivity. If you are not positive, you don't engage in prayer. This prayer itself is a sign of positivity. Negative person doesn't even bother to go and pray or to make dua. He knows nothing can be happen. There is no point. There is no benefit. Why should I ask? Why should I make dua? But the fact you make dua, it is a sign that you are still positive. There is some positivity in you. You still believe that the prayers have some impact. Prayers have some effect. That's why you are praying. Otherwise, why should you bother about praying? So, Imam alayhi salatu wasalam, as you will see, when he is talking about some of those dangers, Imam, even being a practical man, is not taking that attitude which some of us or many of us we take. For example, I don't care whether people like me or people don't like me. Many of us, particularly when we are very bad or when we are very good. So in these two, when we are very good, again, we don't care about what people think about us because I am very good, I am on the mark, I am perfect, I am doing right things for right reasons. I don't care whether people like me or they hate me. I don't care. Matter of fact, many of us have mastery of offending people and making unnecessary opponents and unnecessarily making ourselves controversial. We have mastery in that. Many of us, we are very skillful. Being rude, being unattentive, being what you call a person that has a lot of compulsion, and a person that is unnecessarily declares, "Main akela hi kafi hu. I don't need any help. I don't need support. I don't need friends. I don't need associates. I don't need favors of anyone. I will fix everything by myself. I will take care of everything by myself." So that's the attitude. Or the other thing is, I don't care. People like me, they dislike me. They are my fan or they are my opponents. I don't like. I don't care about it. You will see Imam cares about it. Imam cares about love and hatred of people. Imam cares about whether people join you or people leave you. Imam cares about all these things because Imam understands. You alone cannot fix this whole world. And the friends are treasures. Friends and fans are treasures. And all those accomplished people in the world, if they have accomplished because of the help and the support of their supporters and their fans and their families and all those people who join hands with them. But if you don't have that desire, if you don't have that kind of character where you can bring people closer to you and you can bring people in your net of the friendship, then how you are going to take care of that? So, we will see that Imam alayhi salatu wassalam is not someone who says, I am a masoom, I am a right person, I am on the right track, I don't care whether people love me or they hate me, whether people like me or dislike me, whether they support me or they don't support me. Mere joote ki nok pe. That's normally we claim, and we are very strong. We say, I don't care about that. Who cares? But Imam alayhi salatu wassalam is saying, no. A noble man, a man who has agenda, Ilahi agenda, a community agenda, a man who wants to leave a legacy and a good legacy behind him, he needs to build so much in this life and in this world, and he cannot build all just by himself. He needs a family, he needs friends, he needs supporters, and as they say back home, 100 friends are not enough, but one enemy is more than enough. So don't make unnecessarily your enemies. Don't be a master of making enemies. Don't be a master of offending people. Don't be someone who makes people run away from you. So try to attract people as much as you can. Try to keep people in your influence and in your company as much as you can. But I know many of us will be right now going black and white. What about my standards? What about my principles? What about haq? What about batil? Oh, Baba, everything is not haq and batil. Everything is not black and white. There is a big room where you can show your flexibility, where you can still keep people with you, where still you can avoid from those confrontations and from those controversies. And again, the best model for that is the Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam himself. Lived with all kind of people, with all those people with full of troubles and problems. But he had the skill, and he had the talent, and he had the ability to keep everyone in his tent and to attract them and make use of each and every one according to their whatever they could offer. And of course, on principles, yes, you are not going to compromise, and no one is asking that you should change your principles or you should change your stand on those issues of haqq and batil and halal and haram. But there are better ways of letting people know that you cannot agree with them, or you cannot walk with them, or you cannot honor their suggestions, or you cannot go with their proposal. There are many ways and better ways to explain and to get people on board, or disagree or agree with disagreements. Respectfully, we agree to disagree here. But then after giving all the explanation, very polite explanation, and giving them with understanding. So that was something which we derive all this. I just gave you all together. Now we will look at the translation very quickly, and I will give you just the gist of that. It won't be the word by word or the line by line. Imam, let's recite a salawat. Imam says, Allahumma la tada' khaslatan tu'abu minni illa aslahtaha wala a'ibatan u'annabu biha illa hassantaha wala ukrumatan fiyya naqisatan illa atmamtaha. Imam is saying that human character can change. If people have if people have those imperfections, if people have defects, those things can be changed and things can be improved and people can be healed. So Imam says, if there is a blameworthy characteristic in me, and if there is a defect that in me, and of course we all know that Imam is Masoom. Imam is just talking about the human character and teaching us that if there is imperfection in me, if there is an aib, if there is a defect, if there is a deficiency in me, if I have some shortcoming, so please help me to improve and change and take care of that. And if I have something noble trait, and if I have a strength, but this nobility or this strength and this good thing which I have is not at its highest and at its best, it is still naqis, it is still just at the basic level, help me to take this at the best level. I am good, but the good is not good enough. So I want to be the best. I am generous, but sometimes I am stingy. No, I want to be generous at all the times. Or I am generous only with my friends. Or when I know there is a return, then I am very generous. But if it is a stranger, maybe I will not. But so I want to improve in these areas and want to be generous with everyone. I am most of the time on time. I am very punctual. Most of the time. But still, sometime I am not. So help me to take this strength to the highest level. Make it kamil. And I don't want to remain naqis. So if there is a nobility in me, there is a strength in me, there is a virtue in me, there is something good which I am doing, so help me to take this thing to the highest possible level. Recite a salawat. So that shows that Imam alayhi salatu wasalam believes that people need to keep growing. People need to keep improving. No one should just stop at one point and say, this is who I am, and this is what I will be doing, and that's it. No, there is no reason to stop. Always keep improving, keep getting better, and keep going higher to higher. Then after that, so that was the first thing which we said, that Imam believes people can change. There is always a potential for improvement. Otherwise, Imam would not ask for this. So we should be positive people. Next thing is, Imam cares about love and hate. Imam cares about people's support, or if they abandon him. Imam doesn't want to be abandoned. Imam doesn't want to be someone who is standing alone and isolated. Imam wants to have family and friends and fans and supporters, and this is something that which we need to also look at that, because as I said earlier, some of us, we have that attitude that I don't need anyone and I will just do it by myself. So Imam says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa abdilni min bighdati ahli shana'an al-muhabba. So see, people that who have hatred against me, please change their hatred with love for me. Even if these are people of hatred, they have hatred against me. Imam doesn't say, who cares? They are bad people. The evil people always hate you. So, what's the big deal? But Imam says, no, I don't want hatred. Even if they are bad people and they are people of hatred, but please help me with that, change their hatred to love for me, al-mahabba. And by the way, the word mahabbat, in Arabic the word is mahabbat, and in Urdu we use muhabbat with meme with dhamma, but it is mahabba, mahabbat. Wa min hasade ahlil baghy al-mawadda. And those people that who are against me, baghi, rebellious group of people, they have jealousy toward me, but change their jealousy for me, mawaddat, which is another word of love. So they should leave their jealousy against me and start loving me. And you know, Imam doesn't want any of these things just for his own selfish reasons. Imam needs everyone's help and love and respect for his agenda, for his role to fulfill. Otherwise, he won't be able to, because he doesn't have enough help. وَمِنْ ظِنَّةِ أَهْلِ الصَّلَاحِ الثِّقَةِ. There is a group in our communities which is very difficult to please, and those are Ahlus Salah. These are the righteous people. You know, the muttaqi people, the good people. They have always some kind of suspicion about those who those who are not at their standards of taqwa and salah. So these people of salah, who wants to see everyone Salman Farsi and Abu Dhar Ghifari, and everyone almost like Masoom, or at least like themselves, and for good reasons. They want to see this world full of Salman Farsis, and they want to have all these righteous people around them. But the problem with them is, with these Ahlus Salah, that they are very particular, very difficult, and their standards are such that they make you to walk on that pul-e-sirat. So these people, Imam says, they have this dhinna. Dhinna is like that suspicion which they have. They look at people with some kind of suspicion. Imam says, change that suspicion to the trust. They should start trusting me that as good they are, I am also the same good. And as they have struggled and they have come to this point, I am also struggling. They should have some understanding and some grace for me where they can trust me. Because if you don't have these Ahlus Salah with you, again, you cannot really, this is your main base. As a religious person, you know what I am going to do with your support if these ulama are against me. And they say Maulana Faizi is fasik, for example. And Maulana Faizi, he is not a man with a right character or whatever, or he doesn't know anything, and they are 2 or 3 people against me, or some of these muttaqi and mutadayyin people, and the people who never come to the masjid and who never come in the Jummah and Jamaat, they are my greatest fans. What I am going to do with their being my fans? So my core thing, my base is Ahlus Salah. As an alim, as a servant of religious cause, my core is Ahlus Salah. These people of taqwa. But they are difficult to please. Their standards are so high. And they look at everything with so much ihtiyat and with so much suspicion. So Imam alayhi salatu wasalam is asking, make them a little generous toward me. Make them a little bit kind to me. And instead of that suspicion which they have, put trust in their heart for me. Recite a salawat. وَمِنْ عَدَاوَةِ الْأَدْنَيْنِ الْوَلَايَةِ. The problem of a bigger problem is the hatred of those who are your close, meaning they can be your people in your family, in organization, in institution, people, your colleagues, they are very close to you. But if they hate you, if they have adawat against you, again, ghar ka bhedi, lanka dhaye. I don't know what is the equivalent of that in English. But if there is a colleague, if there is someone in your organization, and he has adawat against you, meaning again you are in a big trouble. So Imam alayhi salatu wasalam says that وَمِنْ عَدَاوَةِ الْأَدْنَيْنِ الْوَلَايَةِ. I want their walayat, and wilayat is love. I want love, not the adawat, from those who are around me. وَمِنْ عُقُوقِ ذَوِي الْأَرْحَامِ الْمَبَرَّةِ. And my relatives, people of my kin, people of my clan, my own relatives, my family, my extended family, if they are someone who are against me, I want al-mubarra. I want a good kind of relationship and good attitude from them. I want that instead of being abandoning me, they should include me. And instead of being against, they should be on my side. وَمِنْ خِذْلَانِ الْأَقْرَبِينَ النُّصْرَةِ. And these akraba, my relatives, the people who are close to me, mainly family, and my clan or my tribe or my qabila, instead, if they have left me and they have abandoned me, I want nusrat from them. I want help from them. Change their attitude which they have abandoned me, change them where they can become my nasir, they can become my supporters. وَمِنْ حُبِّ الْمُدَارِينَ تَصْحِيحَ الْمِقَةِ. And there are always some flatterers who don't deliver anything, but they are always there, subhanallah and mashallah. And there is nobody like you. You are the best. So Imam says, from those mudareen, those who are the flatterers, whatever meaning they are expressing, make it real. And put a real love of mine in their heart. So whatever they are saying, it should be the real ones. It shouldn't be just flattering. وَمِنْ رَدِّ الْمُلَابِسِينَ كَرَمَ الْعِشْرَ وَمِنْ مَرَارَةِ خَوْفِ الظَّالِمِينَ حَلَاوَةَ الْأَمَنَ. And also, those people that who are with whom I am always interacting, they should interact with me with generosity and with respect. And I want also a help from you that change the khawf from zalimeen to the sweetness of security for me. Living in khawf is not something which can help you to really work full-fledged and to do all what you want to do. Imam alayhi salatu wasalam says that these people that who are the corrupt, and of course these are the government and their agencies and their agents and all those kind of bad people. So yes, they are there and there is a bitterness of khawf from them, zalimeen, but I want to ask you, give me halawat al-amana, give me some peace from them so that I can go out and I can do what I am supposed to do and take care of my job and my responsibilities. So these things are, my brothers and sisters, important to understand that these are important things in life. Peace is very important for anyone who wants to really accomplish something. Similarly, the support of family and support of friends and support of colleagues and support of good people, all that is very important. Without that, you will be standing alone. No need to offend people unnecessarily and no need to get into the controversies unnecessarily. Recite a salawat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. اللهم صل على मैं बैठा था, बैठ के फिर खड़ा हुआ हूँ. अच्छा, my mind is still in the khutbah. Recite another salawat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحليم الكريم غافر الذنب وقابل التوب وهو الغفور الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين علي بن أبي طالب وعلى سيدة نساء العالمين فاطمة الزهراء وعلى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة وعلى علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي. اللهم صل على مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان وعلى آبائه الكرام اتصل الليالي والأيام. أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان
وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون.